everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Points of Articulation. My name's Dave, and welcome back. It is day 2 of the 12 days of Trekmas. For those of you just joining me, each day from now until Christmas, I will be reviewing a new Hallmark Star Trek Ornament. So today we're looking at the Hallmark U.S.S. Rio Grande NCC 72452. One of the cooler ships to come out of Deep Space Nine, and in that show they usually called it a Runabout, but it actually had a class name. A lot of people sometimes don't even look at that, they just call it the Runabout, but it's actually a Danube class. And as I mentioned before, this was first seen in Deep Space Nine. A little slow in the beginning, but damn did it pick up with the Dominion War, some great characters, Worf was there, and Captain Benjamin Sisko. My god, Avery Brooks was such a cool commander. Hopefully one day he comes back to the Star Trek storyline some way. Now, this particular ornament was released in 1999, and it sold for retail about $24.99. Now, the length of the Runabout is a little under 4¼ inches long, which isn't bad. So we do have a lot to talk about today. We're going to look at the mold, the paint, check out those lights and sounds, see how to hang it on a tree, and then we'll be done. So let's get moving. And kicking this review off, let's start by looking at the mold, and out of all the Star Trek shuttle-type ships, this one always screams minivan, or an old station wagon to me. Like a Caprice wagon. Just look at the back. I don't know, maybe it's me. But such a cool design, I will admit that. A lot of nice shapes and textures on here. In the front we have our cockpit. The door right there, or hatch, whatever you want to call it. We have warp nacelles, very nicely done on both sides. Pylons. And in between the pylons and the ship itself, we have impulse engines. And they are like a yellowish color, and they do light up. We'll look at that later. And then we have various windows from the cockpit moving down, especially in the back. Look at that. Sick, right? $19.99. Another warp nacelle. Awesome. At the top, we have our ornament hook. Great details. My god. Now on the bottom, we have some more details and lines and modules. Copyright crap down here. A speaker. And the button, and as you can tell, we have a cord because this is powered by the tree itself, so that's pretty interesting. You plug it in, it lights up, and then you can hit the button and Worf talks. So how awesome is that? So let's get a closer look. And I must say, looking at close up, just the details just pop on this bad boy. Tons and tons of panels, modules, just fantastic. Here we have the warp nacelle, translucent plastic. Nice. And nothing's flat on here. As you can see, there's just tons of angles and layers. Really cool. The translucent plastic for the impulse engines. It has some texture, which is nice. Coming to the back. Awesome. Really nice. And I love the top of this. From the cockpit, just all the nice curves. Pretty sick. Coming to the bottom. For those of you that would like to read the copyright stuff, they know. But pretty awesome. So that does it for the mold. So now let's take a look at the paint. Alright, discussing the paint on the Runabout, Hallmark outdid themselves with this bad boy. We have different shades of gray, ranging from the light gray, which is the main color, to a little darker, to real dark, to super dark, and then so on and so forth. And you can see that scattered throughout the whole thing. Some have purplish hues, blue hues. Just an amazing job on that. Very cool. And then we have more colors. We have, besides the grays, we get a little white right here. White on all the deltas. Right on the bottom. Other colors, we have gold on the warp nacelles and back of the Buzzard collectors. And back here, which is a nice color. And also located right here and here. Then we have dark tan for this section, back here on the sides, on the bottom with some red. Like, it just has so many colors. Glossy black for all the windows. And that really picks up the light well. You can see how it shines. I love that. Again, the translucent plastics. And then we have brown for all these little modules. And I think I got everything. A lot of colors on a tiny model. And that's what I love. I love when you feel like you got your money's worth, and that's what this is all about. So that does it for the mold and the paint, so let's power this bad boy up. Alright, before we get to the lights and sounds, unlike current Hallmark ornaments, which take batteries and run on LEDs and so on, the original Hallmark ornaments, like this one right here, actually hooked into a tree to power it. So all you gotta do is, I would say go to maybe dollar stores or something and get a cheap strand of the original Christmas lights and plug it in and you're good to go. Now with the lights dimmed and this bad boy plugged in, we can see that underneath the pylons we have a yellow light, which is awesome. Our Bazad collectors are lit up, and also our warp nacelles on both sides, as a matter of fact. So such a great ship. I really like the design of this. Now, the lights aren't all that works on here when you plug it in. It actually has a speaker, and we can hear Worf.
I wish you a most honorable holiday. Kapla.
Oh, man. Gotta love Worf. You know, such a great character. But that does it for the lights and sound. Pretty damn sweet. Alright, to hang this bad boy on a tree or a stand, right at the dorsal section at the top, we have our ornament hook loop. Slide it in like so, and you're good to go. And that does it for the second day of the 12 days of Trekmas. Again, this was the Hallmark U.S.S. Rio Grande, or Rio Grande, whatever you like to say, NCC 72452, and I really enjoy this ship very much. It shows you that even though it's old, this is from 1999, Hallmark still put a lot of effort into their ornaments. It has sound, it has lights, tons of different paint, and the detail is amazing. And speaking about all that, the detail, we have translucent parts, some great detailing throughout the whole thing, very accurate to the show. The paint, above and beyond, different shades of gray. All the ship registries are on there and in great detail with the deltas. Fantastic job. And finally, the lights and sounds. Seeing this lit up and hearing Worf's voice, it's awesome. I don't know what it is about Star Trek and Christmas for me. Maybe it's the idea that everybody in the future gets along and works out peacefully, that, you know, has a very Christmassy feel to it. You know, be good to one another. But getting off my rant, this is a great ship and I recommend it for anybody who's a fan of Deep Space Nine or the next generation era of Star Trek. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you enjoyed my review. If you did, hit that like button. If you'd like to see new reviews every Thursday, subscribe. Again, this was day 2 of the 12 days of Trekmas. Tune in tomorrow for another review. Bye everybody.